due to some allegations of high-handedness, fraud, and all of those things. But he was away, from the country at the time. By the time he returned, the man said, even while at the airport and speaking to steaming fans, said that action of the State House of Assembly was null and void. He remains the Speaker. And by the way, in his absence, Ms. Mojisola Miranda was announced and elected as the Speaker of the House of Assembly. So since then, the centre has refused to hold. And yesterday, the embattled former Speaker, Mudasir Obasa, in a Gestapo version, went to the House in the full, guise of the people with security detail, and then went into the House. We learned he had plenary with 4 members of the State House of Assembly, while 36 others stayed away, and they condemned what has happened, calling on their leaders to rein in on the matter. Nigerians are divided on this to say, where has this left, democracy, the kind of democracy that's supposed to be the government of the people, for the people, and by the people as well. This is what has remained of the democracy. Even while the man was away, that's Mudasir Obasa, we learned maybe there is a system. Of course, there is a system in Lagos, political system, that possibly are divided on the opinion, either if it was the right decision that was done in removing him or not. Some are saying possibly he had some backing from somewhere. Some fingers are pointed at Abuja. Maybe they are the ones backing him, because the manner, the confidence, the audacity in which the man has been going about his business, and climaxed with what happened yesterday. We have a constitutional lawyer with us and a public affairs analyst and social commentator with us, Mr. Libros Oshoma. But before I bring him up, I just have you to have few minutes of glimpse of what happened yesterday, and then I will bring Mr. Oshoma in. Take a look.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, you're pressing in. You're pressing in. You're pressing. So why is it?
Yes, sir. Are you there now? You are here today. You've been away for a while.
I was on vacation.
Okay, sir. Now you are here. The house is in recess. Can you?
Which house?
So we heard, sir, in the news.
As you rightly said, I'm here. So as I'm here, it simply means the house is on.
Well, sir, on social media, we have information flowing that you barged into this premises.
Confirm it now.
So we are trying to confirm from you. Can you tell us exactly?
So what are you implying? Are you saying that I broke it, or I broke the door to get access? Is that what you are saying?
I don't know.
So I go and confirm now. If you have had, then confirm from your source. He will do what? Yes. Allege will do what? Must prove.
So since the impeachment, have you been reinstated? Are you back now?
I've told you repeatedly, I've never been removed. There's nothing like impeachment. So I don't know what you are saying. I've said this openly.
Sir.
That everybody, remove, what is it called? Impeachment or whatever, or removing is all democratic and constitutional. But in doing that, to achieve that, you must follow the due process. Nobody is against. I'm not against being removed. If I do that, then I'm not democratic. But all we are saying, let us go through the normal process and achieve that. So if we do, fine. That's just, I'm not against anybody. I don't have anything against anybody. All my colleagues, they've always been my brother. They have always been loyal. They've been dedicated. A strong commitment to serve the people of Lagos. I will continue to do that together. For me, I have no reservation, nothing against anybody, and no intention of victimization. So
Okay, so currently there is a case in court. As in there's a
what
case.
What is the case about? What is the case about?
About your removal.
No, I don't have anything like that.
Okay, so are you not disturbed that currently members of the party they are not being pitched against one another over this crisis?
No. Our party is one. We are all brothers and sisters.
No, we just had
it's a family. It's a family party. Everybody is entitled to his or her. Thank you.
So what's next?
That was the ousted speaker, and we'll try and connect me with Mr. Libros Shoma, on Zoom right now. He will join us very shortly, for his analysis of what has happened yesterday and what he makes of that development. Quite a very, strange one.
Yeah. Really strange, and with the way he was responding to the pressman, like I don't have any case in court. I wasn't removed. It should be done democratically. One would ask or want to wonder how else should that process be done if we've spoken to some persons and they said the process was legal and it was right. So where exactly is this coming from? And like we talked earlier, we said some persons have alleged that he has a strong backing. It might not be far from that because, I mean, he stayed away for 45 days. I presume so. He stayed away for 45 days and all of a sudden he storms back. He's been around for a while. He returned from his trip. At least it's been weeks since he returned and he just made this
all right. We understand we have Mr. Libros Shoma with us, a constitutional lawyer and a social commentator. Thank you for joining us. We can't hear you. Possibly you have to unmute from your end.
I can hear
All
you.
Right. Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, then.
Yes. How do you describe what happened? In the Lagos State House of Assembly yesterday with Mr. Mudasir Obasa with his entry back to the House, and what has happened in the past few weeks?
Yeah, first and foremost, let us put this thing in perspective. It is not true that Mudasir Obasa did not go to court. He's in court currently. The processes are all over the internet. His lawyer filed an originating summons in court, and I can send you the processes after the program. I have them. I've downloaded them from the internet. They have also filed a motion on notice seeking for accelerated hearing of the matter, and they are challenging, they're asking the court to interpret various sections of the Constitution and the various sections of their rule book. And the parties in that matter are Honorable Mudasir Obasa, Honorable Mojisola Miranda, and then the Lagos State House of Assembly is the first respondent. Mojisola Miranda is the second respondent. So it is not true that he is not in court. And that said, also, I want to draw an analogy so that we understand a pictorial understanding of what we are getting ourselves into. Elections were held in May 2023. And 2023, before the president was sworn in. Imagine those people who did not agree with the process of that election, Peter Obi and Atiku. Imagine them forcing their way, going to Aso Rock with security operatives and thugs, and insisting that they won the election in the first place. Today, there will be no democracy. We won't be here. Certainly, Tinubu would have become president. And that is the pictorial situation we are seeing. The first thing is, by provisions of Section 92, subsection 2, paragraph C of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it clearly spells out how a speaker shall be removed from office. And it says that it shall be removed by two-thirds majority of the members because he is first among equals. There's no special status. And so he can't. Impeachment is a longer process. And so once that provisions has been complied with, and you feel aggrieved and you feel that there are other provisions of the rule book that ought to have been followed, the best thing to do was to approach the court just the same way Obasa approached the court. Now coming to deny that he did not approach the court, for me, it's an afterthought. And then, after approaching the court, you wait for the court. You ventilate your grievances and now wait for the court to decide one way or the other the matter after submitting to the jurisdiction of the court. This assistance by the Abuja and the president, I'm saying it here, by the president and his co-handlers in Abuja, the police and the DSS, to aid Obasa to resort to self-help is a recipe for anarchy. In Rivers State, the APC had consistently lambasted the governor of Rivers State for recognizing 3 members of the House of Assembly. And here, you have in Lagos, the state of the president, you have a speaker who was removed from office, who is now parading himself as speaker, invading the House of Assembly with barrage of policemen and thugs, and now sitting, holding plenary with just 4 members in a House of 40 members. And we say it's not a recipe for chaos. What we are saying, like I said, if Obasa does not enjoy the support of the president, he will not do what he's doing. And I have my reasons for saying this. He's enjoying the support of the president and the government in power because of the attachment of the police that we had seen. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And you cannot have those numbers of police in Lagos supporting somebody without the support, tacit support from Abuja. Also, the DSS issue. When there were allegations that, according to the DSS letter, that they were invited to come keep peace at the State House of Assembly on the ground that Obasa was going to invade the place and declare himself speaker. That is invitation to protect lives and property, which is the responsibility of the police. But rather, what did the DSS do? We saw the way they handled that situation like an invasion. First and foremost, if an allegation is made against somebody, the proper thing to do, security thing to do, would be to invite that person. Obasa was not invited. Rather, it is the people that complained, that asked for protection, that were subsequently invited. Certainly, it means that Obasa is enjoying support of somebody from somewhere in Abuja. And also, there were allegations of corruption levied against him when he was removed from office. We have never heard that the EFCC had invited him to come for question or interrogation. But we saw how the EFCC chased Yaya Bello and other persons who do not enjoy the support of Abuja. We saw how they chased them around. But I dare the EFCC to invite Obasa for questioning. They won't, because he enjoys the support of some persons in Abuja, the president here. So that's basically what you see playing out. And this is how politicians connive to destroy democracy. President Tinubu is known for promoting democracy and for fighting the military. Is this the kind of democracy he wants to, bestow on the people now that it is turned to the president? These are the basic questions we should be asking. We should not be scared to ask. Okay,
Barrister, from all that has been happening, or from all that happened yesterday and what we've been seeing on the news and everywhere, what is the way forward right now? Because Obasa he has said he is the speaker and he has held plenary with 4 House members, and the other House members are out. And now, Mudasir Miranda, we don't really know what is going on with her. What is the way forward? How can we come out of this?
We are not in this. So we don't need to come out from a situation that we did not create. The president and his people have created a mess, in a monster, so to say. and the way they can come out of it, or the way they can tell Nigerians that they are not involved in it, is to allow due process. The due process of the law is that if you feel that the positions of the law has not been followed, there's an arm of government that is constitutionally responsible to interpret the law. Let them ventilate their anger in that matter that is in court. And that's the only way out. Obasa is not a speaker, and nobody should so recognize him as speaker, except the members that impeach him come back to say that they have impeached the current speaker, or she resigns, and they have reappointed Obasa. Otherwise, we will be making a mockery of democracy. How do you say you have a house of 40, you have 36 in one place, and then 4 in one place, and you say that 4 now is greater than 36? This is the same APC. If you remember, when PDP Governors Forum had a crisis, 16 and 19 members, and the APC started mocking them and laughing at them that they are saying 16 is greater than 19, if you remember. This was the same APC. During the tenure of Chibike Amechi as governor of Rivers State, when Honorable Evans VP led 4 members to attempt to take over the House of Assembly, this was the same APC that mocked at them and said, this is not how democracy should be. But today, the same APC is doing even worse. And you're asking me, how do we get out of it? The best way to get out of it is the way that what happened in Rivers State then, to say, look, Obasa has been removed by his colleagues. You can only appeal to the colleagues to bring him back, or he goes to court to ventilate if he disagrees with the process. It is not in his place to say that, oh, the process that removed me did not follow due process, and so I will bulldoze my way into the house. If he didn't have the support of those policemen, if he didn't have the support of the person that released policemen and DSS to him, do you think he will be able to bulldoze his way and do what he did yesterday? The answer is no.
Yeah, if I may, I want us, you're a constitutional lawyer, and good that you have talked about the involvement of, state apparatus. The DSS, at some point, the Nigerian police, we learned a few hours to that time, or 2 days ago, the police detail, security detail of Miss Miranda were withdrawn. And, hours after that, you saw that invasion, some have called it invasion, of the State House of Assembly of Mr. Mudasir Obasa, who had his security detail withdrawn before. Now they were returned, and he came in that fashion to the house. Now, before the end of the day, we learned from the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State that, it was because of audit. That's what they called it. It was because of audit that made them withdraw the security details of Miss Miranda, and that, they have been returned and everything is fine right now. I want you to speak on how the institutions of the state are now looking like a tool in the hands, sometimes, I dare say, it looks like a willing tool in the hands of the politicians, because these institutions are supposed to be independent, but it seems they are not.
You see, recently, there's been this back and forth between Showore and the police on the tenure extension of the current IG. And the question the issue and the reason for that, according to the federal government, is to secure the tenure of the IG. And the question you would ask yourself, if the IG was not disclosed to the current president, would the federal government bother about securing his tenure? The answer is blowing in the wind. And then also, these same people, the APC, whilst in opposition, especially the APC in Lagos, whilst in opposition, are consistently clamor for the insulation of the office of the IG from being an appendage to the office of the president. That the person who becomes the IG should not be appointed by Mr. President. They also argued that the INEC chairman should also not be appointed by the president. But today they are in office. Everything they have once criticized, they do worse. So that was the reason when people argued that the police should not be an appendage of the federal government. A situation where the federal government, once you disagree or they agree with you, they deploy the machineries of office, the machineries of the institutions of security agencies to either support you or dislodge that person, whether you are on your right or not. If we continue like this, like I said, the recipe we are creating is that politicians are not matured enough to govern Nigeria. That's what we are telling the world. And I'm scared. I'm afraid of what will happen, because already you saw in the last election how some young men were already, they went to the military to beg them. Imagine in 2024, 2023, young people going to beg the military after what we went through in the hands of the military in this country. It is simply because the politicians have learned nothing. They have shown that they don't have a sense of history. And I am also equally very shocked that the president, who understood what democracy is about, who also was one of those who fought the military, would be using military tactics to
Sorry, Mr. Liberals, if I may come in here, you have repeated, yes, sir, you have repeatedly,
yes,
pointed accusing fingers at the president. One would say, yes, what is his own on this matter? He has been silent. Nobody has quoted him to say this is where he belongs. They have been quiet on the matter. So what do you think is the one involved in all of this?
I have lived in Lagos for close to 25 years now. I was in Lagos when the president became governor. I have been in Lagos and I know what happens in Lagos. Even outside what happens in Lagos, nobody becomes somebody here without the imprimatur of Mr. President. Even whilst he was not president, he didn't hold any position in APC, but they called him the leader of APC. We have seen, we know all of this, let not pretend about it. And also, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He has not, his house is boiling. You have two people laying claim to a seat, and he didn't utter any words. And somebody came out to say he's busy with Abuja affairs. And just a few days ago, he met with the APC caucus members from various states, and Lagos State governor was there, and this issue will not be raised or discussed. And at the end of the day, he being the commander-in-chief, you saw the DSS body language. We are also seeing the body language of the police in the matter. And you are asking me that the child died, Al cried in the night and the child died in the morning. And you're asking me what happened, who did it, knowing fully well that he's the leader of the party in the state, he's the leader of the party at the center. I listened to Honorable Adoki, a chieftain of the APC and a member of the Governor's Advisory Council, and he said that because of the arrogance of Obasa, they had even met to reconcile, that they reported him to the state. Right. And so when you listen to all of this, these are not rumor. These are statements of fact that are in the public domain. And yet the president has not uttered a word from that time till now. And then you say that, and then so the police are released, DSS are released. Somebody requested for DSS for protection, and then the DSS sealed up everywhere. Is that how you protect? When they request you to protect, you come, you seal up everywhere. And then the man who they complain against is roaming around with police. And the person whose colleague were appointed, elected as speaker, that same person, his police details are withdrawn. And then the police come, very shallow excuse, and they say, it is audit. We are doing audit. What kind of audit? So you are doing audit, but you could withdraw Miranda's own, but you empower Obasa with almost a barrack of mobile police in this time of insecurity in Nigeria. And then when you say, oh, we should excuse Mr. President, the leader of the party at the state, we should excuse him from all of this. Even if he's not aware, I am saying now that let him be aware so that he would tell parties to comply with the position of the law. Those that have gone to court, let them wait for court outcome. So they have also said that maybe because of that the zoning arrangement. Yeah. Zoning arrangement is an internal arrangement of their party. They shouldn't bother us, the public, with all of their zoning arrangement. They should sit down and talk to their politicians, talk to themselves, and arrange on how to go about it. But that display, that shameless display that we saw at the House of Assembly, in connivance, like you saw and agree, in connivance with state apparatus, and we say that the leaders of the country are not aware of it. Can anybody deploy policemen that way without the National Security Advisor and the president of the country, who is the commander-in-chief, you know, tacitly supporting it in a state where the president is from? The answer is no. We also saw what happened in Osun. Can you say that the party is not aware that police were deployed to support the local government chairman, the APC local government chairman, and you say nobody's aware? Well, look, we shouldn't pretend. I'm not one to pretend. I don't know how to pretend. These things, we should say them as it is. They are our leaders. They are not our rulers. We elected them. And so when we elect you, you should serve us. And so when we see things that are happening that are not good, it is beyond on us to also complain and raise them out and point them out. The provisions of this Constitution, Section 92, Subsection 2, Paragraph C, is very clear on the way Speaker can be removed. It does not require any special sentiment. And you, out of 40 members, now it is very clear. Out of 40, what is the 2/3 of 40? It's about 25. And so you have 36 on one side. So can we say that provisions have not been complied with? If you're now arguing with the rule of the House on convening a House that is unrecent, that's for court interpretation and not for you to interpret. Since when has Obasa become the courts?
Okay, Barrister, let's leave the president out weighing in on this. Okay, but then as the members of the House, what can they do on their own to be able to resolve this matter? Because it seems like the 36 other members have gone out to say we are not in support of Obasa returning, and 4 others are standing with him. What can these other members do? And the incumbent Speaker of the House, Mudasir Miranda, what can be done? Aside the president wading in on this matter, what else can be done?
I have consistently answered this question. He who created the problem should solve the problem. What can the members do? What can cockroaches do in the midst of chicken? There are members whose police are being withdrawn. They are vulnerable. They are exposed to thugs. If you drive to Alausa yesterday night, you see thugs and policemen. So members whose position and privileges have been withdrawn, what can they do in the face of superior firepower from the security operatives that should protect all, that should maintain law and order for all, and then you see them supporting one person against the other? What can they do? If not that the person who is supporting the other party should allow the court to do justice to the matter. And that's what should happen, and not that what can the members do. The members have addressed the press that they have insisted that they have sacked the speaker. They have removed him. He is their colleague. He's one of them. The position of the law is clear. So what else do you want them to do?
So the best option is it for them to stay away?
If you are saying that, asking me what can they do, the man who is on the right, you're asking him to now go to court. The man who is on the right, is that the way it should be? That is why politicians will rather rig election, snatch ballot boxes, kill, and then ask you to go to court. So is that the kind of democracy we want to grow?
Yeah.
A democratic people who are complying with democratic processes, and then you're asking me what can they do? What we should be doing is what you and I are doing now. Raise our voices that the right thing should be done.
All right. But before I allow you to go, and let me ask you, as a pro-Democrat and somebody who is very vocal about doing the right thing, especially via the provisions of our Constitution, are you concerned that political systems, and I'll give you an example, overrides the Constitution as it is, as it's being currently practiced in Nigeria? Because some will say all of those 40 members, at a time they have been endorsed, they have been supported by the powers that be in that same Lagos. And all of them, just like some of the analogies you have given, they are a project in the hands of the political system in Lagos. Now, they rejected the former leader, that's Obasa, and they, got the speaker now, Mojisola Miranda. Now the center has refused to hold. It seems Lagos is on overdrive. Abuja is staying alone. But we understand the consistency arrangement in which some persons have said, okay, maybe there were meetings in which Mr. Obasa should come back, Mojisola should step down, and then another person from the constituency, one of the constituencies should come up because Mr. Governor and the speaker cannot come from the same place. But I'm asking, political systems and the godfather factor in 2025, are you concerned that this is what we have been constantly seeing? Even when the institutions are trying to be independent, the power that brought all of them running the institutions is still calling the shot. Are you concerned, really?
Yes, I am very, very concerned, and which is why, like we were supposed to do this interview via the phone, but I had to. I felt the urgency of the matter, and I said, look, no matter what, other things should wait. There are no places where you don't have godfather, political climate where you don't have godfather. But if we talk about democracy, the will of the people, irrespective of the godfatherism, godfathers usually, you know, their will and wishes are subservient to the will of the people. After all, what's a leader without his followers? You have, except in Lagos, where you have a leader, an acclaimed leader without followers, a speaker, somebody who is imposing himself as speakers. And meanwhile, the members are saying, we don't recognize you as our speaker. These are, because all of this is happening because almost all of them, at some point or the other, were all handpicked by political influences. You come and go. And it is only in Nigeria that you hear people say, my people said I should come and go. Or the godfather has endorsed this person. And that's where, you know, at the end of the day, they deploy the apparatus of the state to ensure that he emerges. And then I ask you to go to court. And that's why all of this are happening. If we, the people, had consistently stood our ground to say, you know, no matter the godfather, your aspirations, your wishes for the people should be subservient to us, should be under us. Right. Certainly you won't have all of this. But no, we don't do that. That's why political inclinations, political considerations, all these meetings, yes, in every organization, there are compromises. The parties can decide, the leaders can decide and meet. Right. I am telling you that I have also, you saw when the House members, after Mojisola Miranda was elected, you saw all of them going to meet with the Governor's Advisory Council. And they came out and addressed the press that they have come to report to the leaders of the party. All right. And so, if the leaders of the party in Lagos are okay with what has happened, what is the business of the leaders of the party at the center that is not allowing Lagos now to hold? All right. That's what we should be concerned about. Thank you. There should be compromises, but not throwing it insultingly in our faces.
We want to sincerely appreciate you, lawyer and of course social commentator, Barrister Liberos Eshoma, for making it on the program this morning. We appreciate you.
My pleasure always. Thank you.
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah, we should go. It's a whole lot. Right. A whole lot in this country. Wow. We'll see you next week, which is March. Next month. Yeah. Next month, March, my birth month, for another round of Morning Spring. So stay with us. I remain Uzam Sekejiko. Do have a lovely weekend.
Yeah, please do have a recap of this program on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. And also, you can catch us on any of our social media platforms, X, Instagram, and Facebook. Femi Ojo remains my name, and we will see you in the new month, God willing. Have a very responsible weekend. God bless Nigeria.